Hi everyone, I'm Stephanie and I'm in my new place. I just moved in here, as many of you know. I've moved quite a few times in the last few years, and as I was unpacking my stuff this time around, I was like patting myself on the back. I was like, damn girl, you really did it right this time around. And then I just started thinking about all the things I did in order to make this process so much easier this time around, and I decided to write it all down and share it with you, and it turned into a very convenient top 10 moving or packing tips. So let's just start off with number 1. If you're really not that great at estimating, like most of the population, buy 2 to 3 times the amount of boxes you think you're gonna need. Seriously. Or you're just gonna have to keep going back and buy more boxes. Also, same rule of thumb for tape. Buy 2 or 3 more rolls than you think you're gonna need. The great thing about companies like U-Haul is that if you have any unused flat boxes, you can return them. So it's not like once you buy the boxes, they're yours. This time around, I went to the U-Haul store 2 times, and the second time I got a bunch more boxes that I thought I would need, and I ended up using every single one. Buy this kind of tape. I think it's called Intertape. I'll find it online and I'll share it with y'all. You can get it at the UPS store. This is a like paper tape that is easily rippable. So check it out. Look how easy that was. Do not mess with those crazy tapes that you have to use, like those dispenser thingies. First of all, you can find the edge super easily. There you go. When you lay it out flat, it comes off really easily, won't really like stick to itself, and you can rip it without any kind of mechanism and you're good to go. This tape, honestly, I love it. I will not pack with any other kind of tape. I know I'm ranting about tape right now, but it is that important. Buy small boxes. I know you may think it's a waste of money, a waste of space. You're thinking, I'm just gonna get the big giant ones and just stuff a bunch of stuff in it. Well, try to lift those boxes up. Even a small box can get so heavy, especially when it comes to glassware, you know, your kitchen stuff, fragile stuff. Like, I have a little example over here. I have a bunch of ceramics, so not the plant, but the ceramic. And of course, I'm not gonna dump all these in a huge box and then move it that way. You wanna get a small box where you can write fragile and huge letters. It just makes it so much easier for you, and if you have movers, so much easier for them as well. On that same tip, whether you're moving yourself or with movers, just put everything in boxes. You may have a bunch of containers, like small baskets, open-ended baskets that you think like, oh, like that's kind of a container, a box in itself, but it's not, because it's not stackable. Once you try to move with all those things together, like with a bunch of weird shaped things, they don't stack well in a car, and you're just making it really difficult for yourself or the movers. So just put everything in boxes and make your life a lot easier. When it comes down to actually packing, I know it can just be so overwhelming. So one of the first things I will pack is a suitcase with stuff that I will actually need for the next few days. So like clothes and toiletries. I just act like I'm about to go traveling, and therefore you don't have to worry if you're gonna need certain things when you're putting them away. You're just making it a lot easier for yourself. Within that same suitcase or another bag you're gonna have in hand, I would set aside some essentials that you will need right away at your new house. I'm talking about toilet paper, paper towels, hand soap, Clorox wipes, like some sanitizing wipes. The worst thing for you to do would be to show up to your new place with all your stuff and realize like you don't know where your toilet paper is and you gotta go to the bathroom. I think about those things, it's important, so make sure to set aside some of those essentials. Once that's all done, I start packing in sections. So you just start off with stuff that you're not gonna need at all. You know, your like knickknacks, books, your clothes and toiletries, because you've already set aside some. I think the very last thing you would pack would be stuff in your fridge. If you have a cooler, you know, you can just toss it all in a big cooler and take it away day of. If you create sections for yourself, it's just gonna be so much easier for you. I feel like I get really overwhelmed when there's too much going on. I'm not a good multitasker, so if I just concentrate in one section at a time, then it's just so much better. I think everyone knows that they should label their boxes. That's so important, but when it comes to labeling, I would also say be specific on the boxes. Don't just write kitchen, write like specific things that are inside there, because there's a lot of things that go into your kitchen. For some reason this time around, I packed all my kitchen sponges in just like a really random box that had nothing to do with kitchen stuff. I think I had, filled up all the kitchen boxes, and it was just one more thing. I just tossed it in another one. And I remember thinking like, oh, I'll remember it's in that box and I'll get it later. I did not remember. So when it came down to it, I didn't have a sponge for a couple days because I couldn't figure out which box it was in. And if I had just thought, okay, I'm just gonna write down that I have sponges in this box, it would have made my life a lot easier. Other than that, I really was quite particular about things I had in boxes, and it was great. Something I want to touch upon is what to wear while packing and moving, and I am completely behind full overalls, so not just short ones, but ones that are long leg jean. Being able to stick just a couple Sharpies in this front pocket, so clutch, because you're not even sticking it there, you're actually, you know, putting it in there, putting the tape in there when I need it. Actually, a lot of times I would wear the tape on my arm like this, but then I would start getting marks, so if I could just put the tape in there, because while you're packing, you're just constantly losing stuff. Things are just getting hidden under other things, and I think Sharpies and stuff are one of the main things that you're like, where the hell did I just put it? But I would just constantly put it in my overalls, put this in here, I'll put my phone in there even. It was awesome. And also I think it just gives you like a little bit more protection. I don't know, I felt like I was getting a bunch of bruises and stuff on my arms and my legs, and I think these overalls having like a jean material really prevented some cuts from happening too. I would also recommend wearing boots. I just wore my Doc Martens the whole time. You do not want those little toesies to get crushed. This last tip is for those of you who have decided to go with movers. I think when it comes to movers, just go with the best of the best. I'm already wary of letting strangers into my home, but strangers into my home handling all my personal things, it makes me a little bit nervous. My dad actually, I was talking to him on the phone today, and he said he watched this news report, this like horror story about this couple who got some people off of Craigslist and ended up picking their stuff in a stolen truck and then just drove away with all their stuff. And then a few days later, the truck was found, but obviously their stuff wasn't in it. So yeah, when it comes to movers, just get the best of the best. They have good reputations, really good Yelp reviews. I found my movers this time on Yelp, and I'm so happy with them. They made sure that both buildings was okay with their insurance. We talked multiple times. We talked like exact logistics about what was gonna happen that day. It was such like a seamless experience. I've never had that before. And not only that, when it came down to getting my stuff and going, like they were so extremely organized. I was just like watching them, so impressed. They made sure that every single piece of my furniture was wrapped and padded and protected. Like everything came here in pristine condition. Like I said, if you are hiring movers, I would just say bite the bullet. All right, that was my top 10 moving tips. I hope this was helpful for you if you're in the process of moving or thinking about moving. If this was helpful or you like this video, please subscribe. It'll let me know I should just keep on making these kind of videos. I love y'all, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.